Welcome to another exciting edition of the Onyx Path News with me, Matthew Dawkins, your glamorous host. I'm here after a week off of doing the news because, damn it, if it wasn't incredibly busy during the They Came From double feature Kickstarter, to say welcome and do check out our latest releases from the last 2 weeks. Yes, I mentioned that They Came From Kickstarter. It has now concluded. We passed, I think, over $49,000 in total. So thank you very much to every single person who backed and every single person who shared, every single person who supported us in any way they possibly could, because the double feature Kickstarter was a bit of an experiment, a little like the double Kickstarter was for Scion Dragon and Masks of the Mythos. We didn't know how well it would land, and we're very pleased with how things went. We managed to fund They Came From the Danger Zone, which is going to be our 1980s action movie source book for Classified and Cyclops' Cave. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger in a major way. We also managed to fund VTT compatibility for Cyclops' Cave and Classified, so expect to see tokens, maps, and so forth on there. And we funded director's screens, wallpapers, basically everything we really wanted to fund. It's always nice to make stretch goals bigger and bigger, but fact is, we hit our target within the first 3 days, and after that, everything is, as they say, gravy, and we did well. I'm very pleased with how that Kickstarter went, so thank you very much to everyone who supported it, but also thank you very much to my collaborator, Michele Masala, who co-developed They Came From the Cyclops' Cave with me, and a big thank you to freelance writers Chris Jones and Kim Godwin and Kat Evans as well, because as writers, either on these books or on other books, they did a tremendous job with sharing, talking about their enthusiasm for the game. And as a developer, this is the kind of thing I am looking for quite often in writers that I hire. I want people who are proud of their work, people who want to talk about the books they've worked on, about the games they're enthusiastic about, because that tells me they're going to be enthusiastic about their writing too. So thank you very much, so much, to all of you for doing such sterling promotional work on that as well. Now, we're not just here to talk about They Came From. We are here to talk about a few of the releases that we have made over the last few weeks. As ever, we release something new every single Wednesday, and these past 2 Wednesdays are no exception. Let's see how well I remember these things. I would say the biggest release over the last couple of weeks is Trinity Continuum Assassins. We had Assassins available for pre-order for quite a little while, and that did really well. I have to say, I'm not breaking any rules here by telling you that the pre-order numbers were staggeringly good. And this tells us something, because it's one of our first. We've only done 2 pre-orders through Drive-Thru RPG. Most of the time we promote books, we promote our big releases through Kickstarter. We've obviously done Indiegogo as well, and doing a pre-order exclusively through Drive-Thru RPG is a bit of an experiment. We've done it for Rich Bastard's Guide to Magic for Mage, and we've done it now for Trinity Continuum Assassins, and the numbers have gone up. And Assassins really seem to capture the enthusiasm of all kinds of fans, not just Trinity players, because a lot of people pre-ordered it. And now this book is available in laid out PDF format. Obviously, it will also be available via print on demand as well in the future, once we have collated and incorporated our errata. But this is really good news that it did so well as a pre-order process, because we always have to keep our options open at Onyx Path. We can't just think, okay, we're going to rely exclusively on Kickstarter and basically just post things on Drive-Thru RPG as immediate sales and hope they do well. We have to find different ways of promoting things, different ways of drumming up enthusiasm, and it really seemed to do well to basically put the manuscript up and drip feed it to people who pre-ordered Assassins. People really seem to get on board with that. So thank you very much to everyone who pre-ordered Assassins. But if you want to buy it now, if you hadn't been on the fence before, but now you're interested and you want to pick up the PDF, you can do so. It is linked directly below. I think it's the first link right below my torso. Now, we also had Meridian. As Ian has pointed out, it's already going on in the chat right now. Things are kicking off. Trinity Continuum Meridian. It's an Aeon novella. And our novellas, I have to say, I'm really fond of them. And I say this, I'm a big reader, as you can probably imagine. I spend a lot of my time reading books. And one of the best ways I find of getting into a setting for a game isn't by reading a rule book, although, that can be fun as well. It's by reading fiction that's associated with the rule books. It's one of the main reasons I got into Vampire the Masquerade way back when. It's how I managed to get into the Forgotten Realms way back when. And it's also how I've really started getting into the Trinity Continuum, because there's a lot of these novellas, short stories, essentially, that we've released now for a lot of our games. And Meridian is a great way of getting into Aeon, which is our far future Trinity Continuum setting with psychics and space travel and all kinds of wonderful fun stuff. But the thing is, sci-fi can often be daunting to players and story guides. They think, well, there's so much I could do with this game. Where do I latch onto? And novellas make an excellent access point. They're quick to read due to their length. They go through the full writing, development, and editing process, so it's going to be of a quality. And that means, hopefully, you can just sit down, read the novella, and come away with all kinds of ideas for your game. Or if, you just enjoy fiction, just pick it up to read it for fun. And yeah, that is also linked down below. We would love it if you checked it out. Fiction's always a bit of an odd one when it comes to sales, when it comes to RPG companies, because you never know how well it's going to do. Of course, most people go to role-playing game companies to buy role-playing games, not to buy fiction. And so we're always interested to see which fiction grabs people, and most importantly, what fiction gets the critical appraisal, the ones with the highest ratings on Drive-Thru RPG, the reviews. And so it takes me back to that old canard of mine that is, well, if you like it, review the damn thing, because we want other people to see how much you enjoy these books. More people are likely to buy these things if you review them well, whether that's on your blog, on a vlog, on a podcast, or indeed on a website like Drive-Thru RPG. So other people know that what you have read is good, medium, or maybe even bad. We don't want people to leave bad reviews, but that doesn't mean you're not without your right to do so. Basically, it's always appreciated if you decide to tell people what you think of our books, because with any luck, it will drum up more sales for us. The more books we sell, the more books we get to make. So that's it for Trinity for now. We also have various Scion goings on. Well, there's a couple of things here for Scion. One of them is Roll20. So some people, especially during the pandemic, really gravitated toward virtual tabletop. I think that's fair to say. It was a necessity rather than a desire for a lot of people. But a lot of people have really got into it and stayed with it. And so many people have been asking us, when are your games going to be fully embedded on Roll20 and other such platforms? Well, Scion is now available via Roll20, as in you can buy the book via Roll20. It's linked below. And what that means is basically all of the information in it is compatible with the platform. As time goes on, we try to add more and more tokens, more and more maps, more and more adventures for each of our game lines via platforms like Roll20. We want people to feel like they can play our games on there. We've done a lot with Scarred Lands, as an example. Scarred Lands is on Roll20 in a major way. But we really want to get our Story Path games on there as well in a similarly major way. And so Scion is available as a book through there, and that's for Scion Origin. But that's not all for Scion right now. We also have, and I'm going to butcher the name, So Now You're a Hero. This was our tasty bit for April, I think. Would it have been April? No, I think it would have been March. Yes, it would have been last month's Tasty Bits, released at the very end of the month. This is the Scion supplement, small supplement, very low cost, that basically straddles the gap between Origin level Scions and Hero level Scions. I've had a lot of people say to me, I really want to play Scion, but I don't really understand the bridge between origin level and hero level. How am I supposed to play this? I want to just get straight into hero because that's when you get access to all the funky powers, or I want to just play origin because I want to play a more grounded, almost high school superheroes level game. And so now you're a hero. Again, short source book, but it does a wonderful job with basically mechanics, settings, story hooks that allow your characters to bridge one to the other. Basically, it allows you to have your not just your origin stories, but your transition stories, the stories that allow characters to finally don the costumes they are known for, were this aberrant and not Scion. I suppose you could wear a costume in Scion as well. It'd probably be something linked to your divine parent, wouldn't it? Or pantheon at the very least. But yeah, answers on a postcard now are in the chat. If you were a Scion of, let's say, Hades, what your costume would be. Probably some kind of Grim Reaper-like thing, a cowl, skull mask, maybe. Maybe I'm a bit too deep into my Cappadocians, Giovanni and Hecata. And so that's how I always imagine the god of death. I think the most fun is to, of course, be Scions of the party gods, of individuals like Dionysus and Thor, and generally individuals who like to go out and have a good time. So a tailored Armani suit. I think any Scion could pull off an Armani suit, especially if I was a Scion of Aphrodite. I think I'd want to dress up better than I'm dressed for this particular video anyway. I'm a bit relaxed right now, a bit casual, but that is how the Scions get you. You know they exist, you're a part of the world, but you never expect the one in a t-shirt and a hoodie to suddenly break out with all kinds of unusual knacks. Anyway, so Now You're a Hero is also linked below, and this is another book for Scion for both Origin and Hero, and is a really useful tool for story guides and players alike. At a cost of, just a handful of dollars, it's worth picking up for light reading, even if you find you're not using it. And and very good, Ian. Jinx from League of Legends is like a child of Hades. I think she even has the hair. The Disney, burning blue flame. And yes, a flower crown. Well, we know how well the flower crowns went in Midsummer. I'm sure that a daughter of Dionysus would pull off that flower crown perfectly well, stitch someone into a bear outfit, that kind of thing, like the one in The Shining. Anyway, I'm going all over the place now. Anyway, that's not all. That's not all. I'm not just here to talk about books that have been released. I'm also to talk to you about books that are coming up. And this week, barring anything unusual happening, they came from Camp Murder Lake, being released in print on demand, finally, this Wednesday. I've been looking forward to this one. I know a lot of people have. They've been holding on to their money. They've been thinking, I'm not going to buy the PDF. I want to buy it in print. Camp Murder Lake will be released this Wednesday on Drive Through RPG via print on demand, so you can add it to your Beyond the Grave collection and finally start slashing those randy teens out in their summer camps and wherever else they happen to live. Wherever they're... What's the Garou line? Wherever it dwells, wherever it breeds. I think that's the Jason Voorhees line as well, maybe. But yeah, very much looking forward to that. I take a lot of pride in Camp Murder Lake. It was a lot of fun to develop. I think all of the writers had a great deal of fun writing it. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I know at least one person who is watching this live will probably do a Where I Read of it on RPGNet if I'm lucky. And we also have a sale. As you know, it is our 10th anniversary of Onyx Path Publishing. And what that means is we are reducing the price of various games down to 10% of their regular cost. And the game on sale this month is a very popular one. It's Exalted 3rd Edition. Exalted 3rd Edition tends to have books that are of size, and they tend to cost in the, I guess, upper level of prices that we charge for our games, largely because of their size, the art, and so forth. So this is a fantastic time to buy those Exalted books at 10% of their regular cost. Only 10% of their regular cost. And right now, I think the focus is on Solars, but as the month goes on, the sale will focus on different parts of Exalted and therefore capture different books in the sale. So do keep up with it. I will keep mentioning it in the Onyx Path news, but the best thing for you to do is to go on the onyxpath.com every week and just see which books are on sale right now. Don't leave it too long because you might miss it. And if you miss it, we're not going to be necessarily adding it to the sale again at the end. As you will be aware by now, it's April. We have gone through several games. We've been through the World of Darkness. We've been through Cavaliers of Mars. We've been through more. And right now it's Exalted. So do check it out. What more do I have to say to you right now? Well, as I mentioned, the Kickstarter for They Came From concluded very well, very happily, and that means there will be another Kickstarter coming soon. I know it's been announced here and there. I'll let you go on the onyxpath.com and check out where what people are talking about. Do join the Onyx Path Discord. I would say that while the onyxpath.com is the best place to go for the most up-to-date official news, the Discord is really where the community is thriving these days. If you have a game that you're fond of or a game you want to get into, you want to make a virtual group of friends, of players, and so on, and want to run a game, the Discord for Onyx Path really is the place to go right now. There are channels on there for the World of Darkness games, the Chronicles of Darkness games, Exalted, They Came From, Scion, Trinity, Dystopia Rising, Legend Lore, Scarred Lands, Pugmire, and so on. So do join the Discord. If you don't know what a Discord is, and some people don't, it is basically a chat room / forum. And the good news is with Discord that messages don't disappear over time. They obviously disappear up, but you can find them again with the search feature, which is very handy. And I often find myself using it just to search for my name in case someone has asked a question about a book I'm working on or any of the other They Came Froms. So do join the Onyx Path Discord if you haven't already. And if you haven't joined Discord before, it is very easy. It's simple as joining any forum. You just come up with a username, a password. You don't even have to download anything for it. You can access it through your browser. So I very much recommend you do so. Barring very few exceptions, you will gain access to the Discord when you sign up. So, do we have anything more to say in this week's Onyx Path news? Well, in 10 minutes' time, I'll be joining the Monday meeting where we will be discussing our recent successes, our ambitions, the things we want to pursue over the next weeks and months. I will say as well, do check out the Monday meeting notes every week if you can, because they will not only tell you about upcoming books, they will also tell you about conventions we are attending in person or online. If you happen to be based in the UK or Europe, I will be attending Tabletop Scotland at the end of August, along with about 3 of our freelance writers, maybe more, but at the very least 3 who will be traveling from across Europe and even the Middle East to get to where we are. It's in Perth, which is accessible via Edinburgh. You just fly into Edinburgh, catch the train to Perth, and there you go. And the good news is Edinburgh is very accessible to European airports. Would I recommend traveling all the way across the Atlantic to attend? Well, you know, if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. But this is a convention that really is good for people based in Europe, where most of the conventions tend to be in America. We, of course, have the Onyx Path Con coming up later this year. So do join for that. There will be all kinds of games running, all kinds of panels in attendance. We will also be at Virtual HorrorCon in some kind of capacity and Gen Con in some kind of capacity. So do check those out as well if you want the most live, up-to-date information from Onyx Path and to get to playing games with their creators. I think that's me about ready to wind up. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Very much appreciate it. Sorry that I wasn't around last week. Work very much got on top of me. There's been a lot to do, especially with They Came From, and They Came From the Danger Zone coming up. You know, 1980s action movie They Came From, so keep your eyes open. I can't confirm any details about it yet because the outline does need to be approved, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we get to do with Danger Zone. And again, Trinity Continuum Assassins on sale now and PDF. Trinity Continuum Meridian, a novella. If you want to read fiction about the Aeon setting of Trinity, I very much recommend it. Scion is now available via Roll20, so you can play it on virtual tabletop with all the assets. And also, So Now You're a Hero has been released, which means you can play characters that go from origin to hero level. And as Ian has said, danger zone. And I think that's the best way to end our stream. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.